The claim that America and Israel are winning this war is mostly just Trump's narrative. In reality, things look very different. Even though their fighter jets are dropping bombs and missiles and destroying targets, it feels more like an attempt to intimidate Iran, an effort to show that they can do whatever they want and that no power in the world can stand against them. But the reality is quite different. In this entire situation, they have made a mistake that is slowly turning into a noose around their own neck. They tried once again to prove that everything can be controlled through sheer power, and that's where they made their biggest mistake. At this moment, if you look from the outside, it may seem like the war has slowed down. The situation appears somewhat calm, but this is not peace. It's a silent fire. America and Israel think they have brought things under control, a situation that is now slipping out of their hands. They started this war to show dominance, but its impact is no longer limited to Iran. It is spreading across the entire world. The biggest mistake is seeing this conflict as just America and Israel versus Iran. In reality, there are two wars happening simultaneously. The first one is visible to everyone, the aerial war. America and Israel are using advanced technology and modern weapons to strike Iran, weakening its defenses and destroying key targets. From this perspective, it may seem like they are ahead, like they are winning, but in reality, they haven't caused significant damage to Iran's core military strength, because Iran's critical infrastructure is buried deep underground. What they have done instead, out of frustration, is bomb more civilian areas. The second war, one they didn't fully understand, is now becoming their biggest nightmare. This war is against the global economy, and here, Iran has struck at a place beyond. The control of America and Israel. The Strait of Hormuz. It's a small waterway. On a map, it may not look significant, but in reality, about 20% of the world's oil and gas passes through it. A huge portion of global energy supply depends on this single route. Now imagine, if uncertainty arises in this area, if fear spreads, what happens? Iran hasn't completely blocked the route. They don't need to. Instead, they have created an environment where every ship, every company, every insurance firm is questioning whether it's safe to pass through. By occasionally using drones, missiles, and naval mines, they've sent a clear message. This route is no longer as safe as it once was, and that single message has shaken the entire system. The result came quickly. Ship traffic decreased, oil supply dropped, prices started rising, and this rise is not affecting just one country. This is where the game changes. No matter how much America and Israel display their air power, they cannot change this reality, because this is not just a military war, it's a game of geography and economics. You can destroy cities with bombs, but you cannot erase the importance of a vital sea route. And this is where Iran gains the advantage. They have turned their weakness into strength. They know they cannot win in direct confrontation, so they struck at a place that is beyond the full control of America and Israel. America and Israel have always believed they can step in and fix everything, but in reality, they have ignited a fire that is now turning back toward them. They thought they could finish things quickly with decisive strikes, but they failed to realize that this war would not remain confined to the skies. It would spread into areas they cannot easily control. Now the question is very clear. If America and Israel dominate the air, and Iran continues its strategy, underground, at sea, and within the global economy, then who is actually winning? The calculations with which America and Israel started this war have now collapsed. They now face three options, all problematic. First, negotiation. If they sit down with Iran now, it will be seen as weakness. After so many attacks, failing to achieve their objectives would send a global message, and that is already beginning to happen. In fact, unable to progress on the battlefield, America is pressuring various countries to maintain a ceasefire. Second, do nothing, but that will allow oil prices to keep rising, which will hurt their own economy and increase pressure on their citizens. That pressure could even threaten the political position of the US president. Third, escalate the war further by going in on the ground. But Iran's geography makes such a war long, costly, and uncertain. History shows that such wars are easy to start, but very difficult to end. A ground invasion of Iran would be extremely difficult, almost impossible. Another important point is that the blockade strategy of America and Israel is not fully working. Iran hasn't shut everything down directly, but by creating fear and uncertainty, it has destabilized the entire system. This reveals Iran's strategy clearly. They are not trying to win outright. They are trying to endure. As long as they can maintain this situation, pressure on the world will keep increasing, and that pressure will ultimately fall on leaders like Trump. In this situation, America and Israel are trapped. If they retreat, it looks like weakness. If they advance, they risk greater losses. If they stay in between, the problem worsens. That is why many now say this is not just a war. It is the result of a strategic mistake, one that is gradually turning into a major crisis for America. But one truth is very clear. No one is truly winning. America and Israel are showing power, but not finding a solution. Iran is creating pressure, but it is also not free from losses. And in between, the whole world, especially ordinary people, is paying the highest price. This war teaches us something important. Power is not just about weapons. Sometimes, geography, strategy, and timing can put even the strongest powers under pressure. And perhaps that is why this war is no longer just about America and Israel. It has become a conflict that affects the entire world.